What is up, you guys? We are approaching Shabbat. It's Friday evening, afternoon. Hope y'all are well. We're here for our weekend reflection message. We've got oracle cards from the Radiant Sun Oracle and our tarot from the Dreaming Way Tarot, as usual, for our weekend message. And so, I've got a little bit of a cold, so forgive me. I'm gonna pop my ear. That was gonna drive me insane. All right, you guys, so from the Radiant Sun Oracle, we've got Jupiter in Leo, publicity, and a little context about our weekend reflection message. So we're taking account all of our lessons that have been building upon one another through the week, and all of the growth and the challenges that we've been going through, and we're like tying the pieces together. We're connecting the dots and integrating that wisdom moving forward. So if you are new to the channel, we've got our anchor messages on Monday with the weekend, or sorry, the like spiritual lessons for the week. And on Wednesday, we do the midday alchemy message, which are like we unpack the approach to the process, like as we're working through these lessons. And so I do these videos later at night, but during the day is when I post them, like midday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram. So if you want to like get a head start on the ideas and things, you can find them there. Otherwise, you might see them later at night or the next morning. All right, enough about that. We've got Jupiter in Leo, which is publicity, followed by Saturn in Aries, which is risk, we have Saturn in Gemini, concentration. Notice Saturn coming up a lot, you guys. You know, Saturn has been really prominent in our energy field recently, in the influences. And we also have, here we have Saturn in Sagittarius, or Capricorn in Sagittarius. No, Saturn. Capricorn in Sagittarius. I'm not thinking straight. Okay, so underneath publicity, we've got Three of Wands reversed. Underneath risk, we've got the Hermit. Underneath concentration, we've got Nine of Pentacles. And underneath fulfillment, we've got Justice in reverse. So, like, as a whole, this week has been all about, like, reflecting on how we have held ourselves back from revealing more of our potential in this life. And it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of that. Like, as a human soul, we are capable of so much more than we achieve. Even if you are one of the geniuses and the titans of industry in the world, or one of the deepest mystics, like there is more potential to be revealed. Even Jesus at times felt like he wasn't revealing enough light while he was here. Like it wasn't, like he was almost failing or falling short in his mission, right? So it is part of the human condition of being fully human and fully divine to have limitless potential that is unrealized, because there's always a cutting edge, right? The universe is expanding. We are the universe. We are an expression of the universe. We are ever expanding. God is eternal, right? Ever expanding. So there's always more potential that we could achieve. There's always more light we can reveal. So that is, I think, something that should both bring us a sense of awe and responsibility and humility and excitement and sacredness to our journey here in our time. So as we all know, if we've been paying attention to anybody that talks about astrology or really anybody channeling messages, we're really shifting paradigms right now, and the planets are having their own shifts within those or alongside those paradigms too. And so we are closing out a 15-year karmic cycle of lessons with Pluto finally moving out of its retrograde in Capricorn, which has been the theme of our life lessons. It's been the influential energy of how life's lessons have been delivered to us. Capricorn is like extra strict. It's the disciplinary. It's the loving, concerned, but like old school father figure, that authority figure. And it is can be stern and restrictive. And so we might have felt very challenged in life. And we may have felt like, so here we have the publicity card, which hints at us taking our unique gifts and talents and developing those and bringing them out into the world and sharing them with the world. And the Three of Wands is like using your gifts and talents, but like in the wrong way. And I want to like refer to the book here so you'll have more of an idea of what I'm saying. So talents and skills and efforts being wasted. New direction needed. Utilize your skills and know. Castles from foundations grow. A careless approach could spoil everything. Check all information before moving ahead with new ventures. Being proud or overly confident is the wrong attitude to take. It could mean a downfall. And then if it's next to strength or justice in a spread, eventually you will benefit from all your efforts. Keep going. You will receive your reward. So it feels like we've tried to discover and turn our compass and our sails going towards fulfilling our purpose in this life. But it feels like something has been like causing us to fail, or to be putting our efforts into things that don't materialize or that don't come to fruition, or we're like directing our skills but in the wrong way. This could be manifest in through the last 15 years of maybe like putting your energy into people who don't appreciate you, right? Like we've all gone through relationships, whether it be friends that we've tried to, like people that we've tried to become friends with, or like people that we've wanted to have romantic relationships with that just could not see us, that didn't appreciate what we had to give. And I think now we're seeing, oh my gosh, like I would have been wasted on that person anyway. And I've realized this in my life, like during the moment of breakup in some situations where I'm like, oh, I've been going to waste on you because you can't even see what you had. You don't see my unique gifts and offerings, but even though you might see them, it's like they're no good to you. You don't value that kind of thing, right? So even though we've had legitimate gifts to offer, right? Maybe you, like for instance, I was in film and television for like 13 years, TV, film, and video production. And I've gained all of these skills and talents for multimedia and storytelling and utilizing my creativity, but not necessarily so that I could be a movie star or make movies, which I thought that I wanted, right? But that was using my skills and talents in not the right way, but I was gaining experience that then would create an ability for me to take it upon myself to be a self-starter and start my own channel and produce my own content and, use my spiritual knowledge to help the world and use those multimedia talents to then be a channel and a vessel to share things that can help people heal or expand their consciousness, right? So this has been a journey, but even within this, it's like sometimes I wonder, you know, because this channel has grown so slowly, and I've been on Instagram for like almost 10 years, and I'm like, wow, like it just doesn't, like, what is preventing this from taking off? You know, the feedback that I've gotten is positive, and people do appreciate this content, but it's about finding the unique people who want to do the spiritual work, and particularly the spiritual work we're doing here. And so that is something that, you know, it's a journey for all involved. And as a person who's trying to use their talents and purpose, but feeling like, what has happened here? What has gone awry where I'm not where I think I should be, right? I'm using myself as an example, but I'm sure there are many other people that can relate to feeling like, why am I not where I feel like I should be at this point? Am I off path? Like, is this exactly where I'm supposed to be at? Like, what's going on? And so the feeling continues here with the, so back to this Jupiter in Leo thing. The specific energy around the personality of this card is someone who has like this yearning desire to take their creativity and their unique skills and put it out in the public for people to appreciate that, and then for them to like kind of take the lead in that department. They're also the people who make great, like, they have great careers in using their creativity because they have like these big ideas that other people like, they're just thinking bigger than other people. And so therefore they work well in situations where they go in and they enhance something or add more to it, or like create something within an establishment, right? So maybe you would be someone who would be called in to like make an event really great, or make like a charity drive, like find the angle that would help them capture an audience and create events and things around that to make people want to get involved. Or even sometimes these people become involved in religious or spiritual organizations as prominent members or leaders, right? So, you know, making that, like taking that into account too, it's like spreading this message, you know, putting that out there, hoping it gets out to others. But maybe you also are in some kind of creative field or healing art, or many times creativity, art is a healing art, right? And so we want to express and share, like poetry is healing, right? Because you're seen, you're witnessed. Someone else has gone through something poignant that is the same as something that you've experienced in that way. So we have this like innate instinct to want to share these things with the world. And it could be that like we're gonna have, maybe we're finally coming to like a breakthrough of getting our art or our healing modality or ideas out there to others in a way that's going to have a positive influence to people. So the energy of Saturn and Aries is this like fiery self-starter energy to like go after it, right? To bootstrap up, to do what it takes to make these things a reality. But here with the Hermit card, it's like, even though you've been seeking and try as you might and you've taken risks, it's like you've done everything you can. You've gone deep. You've tried to like tune into higher guidance, and try as you might, it's like something is still eluding you, and you've taken the risk and then you've put effort in. So it's like, what gives at this point? I want to make sure that I want to read the Hermit card because I thought it was profound the way that the book seemed to reference every reading that we've had this week and like continue the conversation and play on the unfolding message of those readings too. Excuse me. So the Hermit, ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. The promise of Christ can be found in your own heart. Look up, dear friend, and see the light. It shines by day and shines by night. Guidance and help are available, but ultimately the responsibility is yours. There is an answer, and you have the ability to solve the situation. Experiment, but take it easy. Use discretion until you are completely sure. So something in the last reading, in the last card, what did that say? It was, don't get, hold on, I want to get this right. Being proud or overly confident is the wrong attitude to take. It could mean a downfall right now. That theme has come up in every reading this week. It has been be optimistic and be excited. Progress is happening, but don't rest on your laurels now. Like, in order to maintain the vessel, we must continually make an effort. We must continually stay humble and have humility and be open to constantly growing and changing. And so there's this ongoing warning also that once once it gets comfortable, like, don't let your guard down. Don't get the hubris of thinking like you've arrived and the work is done. Also, don't fall victim to thinking that you have like this higher understanding or consciousness than others. Have humility, because you'd be surprised at the insight that someone unexpectedly could offer you and what you have to learn from others. Like, that pride that you're above anyone or more deserving even, or starting to measure and judge, that is a pitfall of elevation and a temptation there. So we are steering clear of that kind of false pride and staying humble with humility, right? Think about the scientific community. They approach their work with the assumption that they're wrong, that they could be wrong, or that they don't know everything, that there's more to learn. So I think that keep seeking, keep asking, keep following the guidance. There is an answer here, but I think we've gotten to a point recently where we feel like, oh my gosh, like, I've been putting all this effort in, I've been taking the risks, I've gambled on myself, like, I've believed in myself. And I think we're just kind of like tired because we're at the end of the challenge where the hero is beat to a pulp, and they're just like, I don't know if I can take another hit. I don't know if I can swing another hit. Like, I don't know if I have the energy. And the universe is like, you got to get back up, Rocky. You got to finish this round because you're going to win the fight, but you've got to get up and throw the punches. So we have got to find it within ourselves. This is the moment where the hero digs deep and we persevere, and we find, this is where we find and we grow that grit, that strength. This is like, it's in that moment where you think you're done that you build the strength, that you build the persistence, the perseverance. Just got an alert. It was like, hi, it's me, your Xfinity assistant. I'm like, it's so distracting. But to persevere, right? And to build that endurance and to build that strength. You can't build that strength until your muscle, when your muscle's quivering and you think you can't go one more, it's that one rep that makes the difference in what you are capable of today and the growth that you gain for tomorrow. So guidance is here for you. Ultimately, the responsibility is yours. And I think that that's also what we're seeing in this reflection, is like, we're seeing the things that have held us back. We're seeing how maybe our hesitance or indecision or procrastination or lack of confidence or security or not having certainty or clear direction. Maybe it was limiting beliefs or programming. Maybe we were trying to do what we thought our parents wanted us to do. Maybe we were people pleasing. Maybe we were afraid of the consequences of following our own heart. Whatever the case may be, maybe there were people from the outside literally trying to thwart our efforts and working against us, because the opponent does that. They're called pendulums, right? There's these these dark forces that are there in the simulation trying to throw obstacles at you and prevent you from revealing the light of your soul, the light of the creator in this world. They're trying to prevent you from fulfilling your destiny, because ultimately you're here to overcome them and lord over like these forces. And so they're trying to stop you. They will get inside of people who are not in full ownership of their thoughts. And so they'll put ideas into people's heads about how they can mess with you or how they can get in your way. Even something as simple as putting someone who has no spatial awareness literally in your way to slow you down and get you frustrated and reactive. Like any little thing that the opponent knows can mess with you and trigger you, it will use against you. And so that includes people who love you, people who have good intentions for you, who don't realize where their fear and concern is coming from. I'm just concerned for you, and I'm just, afraid for you. And they are well-intending, right? But they're sending you, like the devil comes as an angel of light, right? Good intentions, right? The road to hell is paved in good intentions. So we've got to pay attention. There are things that are trying to throw us off our path and have probably been there, wherever the hero is at in their own version of the game, in their own simulation, they're going to have an equal opposing force at all times. So it's going to be manifesting through every which way it can through the environment that you're in. It's going to be using the simulation and resourcing from all of the things around. So just take that as a guaranteed, take that for granted. Obviously, okay, so you can stop taking it personally because that's just the condition and the rules of the game. So opponent has pushed you or thwarted you or foiled you at every turn, right? We've been in this 15-year cycle of karmic lessons and challenges. So try as you might, no matter what, you couldn't have done much better. This is just how it's always been meaning to play out. And you have come a long way. So now we're here. And the concentration card is Saturn in Gemini, and it's this little imp is riding these lips, and there's all these swords in the air, and loose lips sink ships come to mind when I see this. This is evil tongue. This is talking in a way that is unconscious, just having idle conversation that ends up spending energy or spending light that could be put into your manifestation. So it's talking about stuff and getting excited about it, and then living in the excitement of talking about it, and then that expends the energy, and then you don't have that energy in the manifestation. So one of the things that might have been undermining us is our getting excited and talking about stuff before we've achieved it, and then that vibrationally takes some of the steam and the momentum from it. Also, negative speech, evil tongue. If we have been gossiping, talking bad about people, talking negatively about a situation, that takes the light from us, and that will take our momentum out of the efforts that we're putting in. Even if we're not talking negatively about that particular thing. But watch out how you speak about things, because if your story that you're telling is that you don't have this dream has not come to fruition yet, you haven't had this thing, or you missed this thing, or you want it to happen, or you're longing for it, but the lack of the thing is the underlying current of the message that you're speaking. Or if you're speaking about yourself in a way that is victimizing to yourself, this could be holding you back. So really getting clear on what we are speaking life into. Being intentional about how we use our words and our mouth, period. Concentrating on, keeping tight lips and watching the story that we're telling a new story. And so Nine of Pentacles here is we're really close to the fulfillment of having all that we seek. In fact, it's so funny. I was just listening to a rabbi today, Daniel Katz, pointing out that when Adam was created, there wasn't, like, he didn't wake up and open his eyes when he was born, or like, you know, took his first breath as like Adam the man. He didn't look out and see beautiful mountains and forests and waterfalls and plants and flowers. He saw barren wasteland. And it was after his awakening that he had a desire for beauty, that the plants, the desire for love and life, that the plants sprung. It was like everything was there under the surface, waiting for that, put that vessel to have that desire to pull that through, right? Because the rain hadn't come yet. Because God was like, what is the point of giving if there's no vessel to appreciate it yet? And so why give good into the world? Why share? Why flow? Like, why let rain flow and let the life come through if there isn't anyone to see it, to receive it? And particularly if Adam hadn't seen the barren wasteland and the dryness before the fertility of beauty came through, he would have completely taken the garden for granted. But he was to be the steward of the garden, so he had to see it both ways in order to truly appreciate the beauty that he beheld. He had to see what creation was like before the fulfillment of the paradise, right? So that's the state we're in here, is that everything in Nine of Pentacles, it's like it's ready to happen. It's right there, ready to break soil. Fully matured, fully ready to come into being. You have already what you seek. It is just a matter of time and readiness for everything to burst forth when you are primed with the level of desire that is needed to fulfill and maintain and sustain that, or to maintain and sustain the fulfillment of that blessing. So we are almost here. The Nine of Pentacles, let's read it, because this describes such like a mood of angst, I think. So the feeling of being incomplete, still seeking goals, though others may think you have it all. All seems well to those around, but what you need you haven't found. Materially secure, but a feeling of solitude. Still seeking a purpose, inner satisfaction. You are knowledgeable and handle your own affairs well. Possible added income or receipt of money via unexpected check. So the Nine of Pentacles talks about like an independent, like business person, someone who has the material success, but they're usually like single. They've developed a good relationship with Source, but they don't have the family or all the love and community and legacy yet that the Ten of Pentacles holds. So you're on the verge, right? You're setting yourself up on the foundations to build this, and you've planted seeds and you've tended to them, but there's just something left that needs to happen before it can all come together. And there's still like a missing piece. You're not quite there yet. You don't have it all yet, even though it looks like you're, riding an easy street. We have fulfillment here with justice in reverse. So the fulfillment isn't quite here yet, but it's on its way. I really do think so, because justice reversed talks about a karmic lesson that needed to be learned before a blessing could come through. So justice in reverse. Injustice and possible loss. Someone feels inadequate and is unable to change the situation. So yeah, it's just like, feeling inadequate right now. Like, everything I've done has not been enough. Like, no matter what I do, it's not enough. Like, what do you want from me? Like, sometimes with the universe, and it's testing me all the time in these initiations. It feels like, if you guys remember that 90s horror movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and the one part where like Jennifer Love Hewitt is like wearing a low-cut tank top with spaghetti straps, and her bosom is like heaving, and she's like in the rain, and all the friends are around, and she's like, "What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?" Because like the stalker's like watching them, and the stalker knows that they like hit somebody with a car and killed them, and they're keeping it secret, so someone's like tormenting them with this. So sometimes I'm like this, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm about to go insane, and I'm like, "What are you waiting for? What more do you want from me?" And that's totally this vibe right now. So, no matter what is right or true, you cannot change what people do. Someone has taken advantage of you, and at this time, you cannot change things. You have done everything possible. Stop worrying and direct your energy elsewhere. A karmic lesson that must be fully understood. Accept it and go your way. So, back to when we were talking a minute ago about like those pendulums coming in and like dark forces using people and circumstances to mess with you and try to prevent things from happening. Like, yes, it could feel very unfair right now. Like you feel like you don't have the life that you feel like you deserve or that you merit or that you've put the effort in, and you're like, wow, like why don't I have anything to show for my efforts? Like it just doesn't seem fair. And it, you know, it may be to some degree that it hasn't been, like that you haven't gotten what is still set aside for you to receive yet. Like, yes, you have, this is not the portion that you deserve. You have not received your fair share yet. It's not that you're receiving a foul deal or a bad portion, or this isn't what you're getting and you're never going to have what you deserve. That's not it at all. It's just that you haven't, like, yours is still set aside for you. And this cycle that needed to come to completion for you to have the vessel, the desire to really appreciate what's coming in and be mature enough to handle it and to cherish this new level of life, right? Like if you become like super successful and you've got the love you want and all of this stuff, it's like you're responsible with these treasures. Like they have to be maintained. Even if you win money, you have to maintain money. You have to manage your money, or else it'll just like depreciate and disappear, right? If you sit, it'll stagnate, right? And it'll lose its worth. So you have to put an effort in, even to what is given to you freely. Confirmation there. So, and I want to emphasize this comforting point here. You have done everything possible. Stop worrying and direct your energies elsewhere. So don't become obsessed overthinking like, this is all me. I haven't done enough. Like none of us have ever done enough, right? So it's not that. It's not that we haven't made the effort. It's not that we've done it all wrong. It's just that it was never going to work out until the divine timing was there. We always were going to have to go through this 15-year period. So you don't have to torture yourself. This was part of it, you know, and you're like looking around, comparing yourself to the people that you know that have had easy street, right? And they've had success and they started families, and why was it so easy for them? Why are they so functional? Why are you like putting so much effort forth into changing yourself and life, and you care more, and like you're still, that's the whole point. We have a special purpose that required us to have a harder time. It created in us the grit and the understanding and the capacity and the space, the container in which we were able to see these things and experience these things in a way that people having that kind of life don't get that. They don't get that vantage point. So this is something that was just part of your process, part of your journey, but fulfillment is coming, and it's not being withheld. It's being delivered right on time. So just stay humble, maintain humility, keep doing the work. And even more so now, like, even though you've been tempted to give up and burn out, and you're probably in a state of avoidance with your goals a little bit because you're like rebelling against this burnout. So take intentional rhythms of rest and space, but then also have non-negotiable, like built-in routines where you devote attention and time to achieving these things. Follow up on promises to yourself. Keep listening to what your spirit is leading you to do, and don't be spiritually lazy. Be quick to act on those things. Be quick to follow through on them. All right, y'all. We'll see how it all shakes out. I think good things are happening, though. I will see y'all tomorrow for our secret sermon. This is our secret sermons on Saturday night. They're after midnight. Sometimes they take most of the night to upload. Sometimes they upload quickly. It just depends. But Sunday mornings, they're there to watch, and it's our Secret Teachings of Jesus series where I get into like the Gnostic Gospels, and we just have some fun with them. All right, y'all. Ciao. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it, then please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to be notified of when I drop content. Like the videos, comment, share them. Anything that you do helps these messages get out to other people who need them. So you watching a video and taking an action on it actually makes a positive difference in someone else's life.